I'm Kelly.
The morning news is blaring, and the headlines are all about me. Microsoft acquires Zenith Tech Innovations for $62 billion, the largest tech deal in history. My phone is going crazy with calls from my family, but I'm just sitting here in my penthouse office, watching the chaos unfold on the screens. It all started at last Sunday's family dinner. I knew it was going to be a long night. We were gathered at my aunt's place, a big, fancy house filled with the kind of people who love to show off. My cousins, Jake and Lily, were bragging about their latest achievements. Jake had just been promoted to a senior position at a well-known law firm, and Lily's startup had just received a huge investment. "Look at Jake, the rising star in the legal world," my Uncle Mark boasted. "And Lily, making waves in the startup scene. What about you, Kelly? What have you been up to?" I sat at the far end of the table, picking at the overcooked steak. I took a sip of the expensive wine I'd brought, which they were serving in their ordinary glasses. "Just working on some projects," I said quietly. My father scoffed. "Projects? While your cousins are building real careers, you're just playing around with your computers. When will you grow up and do something meaningful?" If only they knew that my so-called projects were actually a revolutionary AI system developed in a high-tech lab. My company, Zenith Tech Innovations, was about to change the tech world. But the news wouldn't break until the market opened the next day. My Aunt Sarah chimed in with a fake smile. "Well, at least you have a job. But there's some entry-level positions at Lily's company. It might be more suitable for you." Lily nodded condescendingly. "We always need coders. I could put in a word for you." I had to suppress a laugh. Just a week ago, my company had acquired Lily's startup through a shell corporation. By the next afternoon, she'd be working for me without even knowing it. My mother sighed. Kelly has always been different. Not as ambitious as Jake or as business savvy as Lily. Jake then started showing off his new sports car. "Check out my new Porsche. It goes from 0 to 60 in 3 seconds." I just murmured a polite response, thinking about my own collection of luxury cars in my private garage. Lily advised me with a look of pity, "You should aim higher, Kelly. Look at us. We have real achievements. What do you have to show for yourself?" I discreetly checked my watch. In just 14 hours, the biggest tech acquisition in history would be announced, and their idea of success would be completely rewritten. Throughout the dinner, they kept talking about the mysterious tech company, Zenith Tech Innovations, that was supposedly revolutionizing AI. "It's probably some genius from MIT or Stanford," Jake speculated. "Definitely not someone like Kelly, who took those online courses." Those online courses were actually advanced quantum computing research that I'd done under a pseudonym at several top universities. But they never bothered to ask what I was really studying. My father, with his typical disapproving look, asked me if I'd started the retirement account he'd suggested. I thought about my offshore accounts filled with billions of dollars in pre-IPO stock, my real estate properties across the globe, and the private island I'd bought last month. "I'm working on it," I replied. My phone buzzed with the final confirmation from my lawyers. Everything was set for the next day's announcement. Press releases were ready, interviews were scheduled, and I was about to become the tech world's newest billionaire. Just then, Lily said, "Remember when Kelly said she was going to revolutionize technology? How's that going?" I smiled softly. "Still working on it," my father declared. "You're always working on something, but you never achieve anything. When will you show us some real results?" I just murmured, "Tomorrow should be interesting." As I was leaving, my mother called out, "Don't forget next Sunday's dinner at Jake's new house. Maybe dress a bit nicer." I paused at the door, looking at their smug faces. I might be busy. Work will probably be quite demanding. Now here I am on Monday morning. The stock market is opening, and the news is out. My family is in a panic. My father is on the phone, asking if it's a mistake. Lily is freaking out about her company's stock. My assistant tells me, "Your family is trying to get past security in the lobby. Should I let them up?" "Not yet," I say. Let them watch it all unfold like everyone else. The business channels are playing footage from last night's dinner. Their dismissive comments are in sharp contrast to the headlines about my company's historic valuation. When they finally get up to my office, they're in shock. They stand there, looking at the panoramic view, the screens showing my face and the details of the acquisition. My mother stammers, "You were just coding in your room." I gesture to the screens showing Zenith Tech's revolutionary AI interface. I was developing the most advanced artificial intelligence system in history. But none of you ever asked. My father sinks into a chair, his face pale. "Why didn't you tell us?" I ask quietly. "Would you have listened? When did any of you ever show interest in what I was doing?" The screens show my net worth skyrocketing. Jake protests, "You just sat there last night while we—" I interrupt. "While you mocked my career, suggested entry-level jobs, and lectured me about success. I wanted you to have one last chance to show who you really are." Lily realizes, "You planned this, every detail." I confirm, "Yes, the dinner, the timing, everything. Consider it a lesson in real business." Just then, my assistant interrupts. "The president wants to schedule a call to discuss your AI innovations, and the Nobel Committee is on the line." My mother collapses on the sofa. Revolutionizing quantum computing in secret is quite impressive. I reply, "Not as impressive as an entry-level job suggestion, right?" The headlines keep rolling. I look at my phone. It's a message about next Sunday's family dinner. I type back, "Sorry, too busy changing the world." Because sometimes the best revenge is making people see what they've been blind to all along.